Audio.
All right, what's up, guys? We're here with another episode of Matic, and today I got my special guest. This guy keeps me looking fresh every couple weeks. Mr. T, the barber himself, bro.
What's up with you, bro?
Welcome to the podcast, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
So, as you know, as we were talking earlier, Matic, it's all about the entrepreneur spirit. I like to feature guests who are doing things at a high level in their own business, and you are doing some big things, bro, with the barber game. So I thought you were going to be a perfect guest to bring on here, bro, just to talk about just the whole barber culture and what you've been doing in your story, man. So why don't you tell us first a little bit how you got into the barber game, man?
Originally, barbering was something that I never wanted to do. My dad was a barber. My mom's a hairstylist, so it just was so repetitive because that's what I was around every day my whole childhood life. By the time I started kindergarten, my parents had their own salon.
Okay.
So kindergarten all the way to 9th grade.
Yeah.
Kindergarten all the way to 8th grade, my parents had the same business. And then they split, and then my dad opened his own barbershop, and my mom opened her own salon.
Oh, okay.
So it's just something that I've been around my whole life, bro. And
was that in the same city or?
Same city. Actually, I used to get mad at my mom or get mad at my dad and leave and walk around the corner to my dad's shop. Or from my dad's shop, he would piss me off and walk around to
your mom's salon, bro.
Yeah.
And you grew up in Florida, right? What part of Florida?
Central Florida.
Yeah.
A place called Haines City, which is close to Orlando.
Yeah.
It's a very small area.
Yeah.
I think the whole entire city's population is like 40,000 people.
Man.
Yeah, and then in the county, I think it might be 100,000.
Wow.
In the whole entire county.
Yeah. So, and how long were you in the barber game out there before you moved out here?
So I started barbering in Florida in 2007 is when I graduated barber school.
Mm-hmm.
From 2007 to 2016. So how many years is that?
What is that, nine years or so?
Yeah, about 9 years I was there, and then I kind of hit the cap. I hit the ceiling, and I've been here now for 2.5 years. December 1st, I think it'll be 3 years.
Here in the Bay Area.
In the Bay.
And when you were growing up, man, in the barber shop with your parents, I guess, what do you remember the most as a kid about just being in the shop, man?
Being in the shop, that's where I got my game from, bro. And being that my parents are in the same building,
yeah,
you could get game from the women. You learn some things what the women talk about.
Yeah.
And then the guys, you learn some things from what, guys do or what guys talk about.
Yeah.
So you got both of your parents. One's a hairstylist, one's a barber. And they both counselors too at the same time, because that's everybody's time. When they sit down, not only do they want to get up looking good,
yeah,
it's kind of like an eternal feeling also that they get, what you guys talk about, sometimes you have to coach them through situations.
Yeah.
So I learned some things that I've heard my parents talk about, some things that we never discussed, that they discuss with their clients too.
Yeah.
So, I was able to be up on game at an early age, bro.
Yeah.
Learned a lot of stuff at a young age.
And that's true, man, because you're sitting with someone for 30, 40 minutes, sometimes even more, right? So.
But imagine it, a woman.
Yeah.
That's 2 hours or better.
Yeah.
And they talking about it, the dudes cheating on them, or what they trying to do. They planning an escape route, or they tired of their man. I've heard some crazy stuff, man. On both spectrums though, from women and men. So.
And that's funny, man, because when I go in the barber shop, like I started going to more of the urban barber since like 8th grade, bro, because I've always had curly hair, and like I tried to go to other places, they couldn't cut my hair right. So I started going to Style Masters over there on the south side. People know who they are. And when you walk in, man, it's just a whole different culture in there, man. Like people cracking jokes, getting on each other.
It's
just uncensored, man. It's raw in there, man. and it's like you go in there, it's like everyone, like you're with your homies, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, it's just a big man cave, bro. The barbershop is a huge man cave.
yeah,
And I tell everybody that, even from when the kids come in, which we don't get a lot of kids here,
yeah,
but back when I was in Florida, towards the end of me being there, I used to cut a lot of kids. And that's when I was working in my mom's shop towards the last, I think, 4 years that I was there.
yeah,
So it was kind of more censored versus being when I worked in my dad's barbershop
yeah.
until it closed. Well, he didn't close the shop. The city bought the building.
Oh,
So they were building City Hall, and we decided to merge. At that point, we merged with a clothing store. So we were there all the way until my dad said he was retiring. He was done. And then from there, I just went back, and me and my mom was working and doing our own thing.
Got it. And I guess, what I like a lot about a lot of the barbers that I've seen is that they're entrepreneurs, man. They're hustling. Like they're doing other things, other barbering.
Bro, that's kind of, I mean, it's kind of just like a barber's instinct.
Yeah.
You can tell, like I work with 15 people now.
Yeah.
So everybody's different, but you can come in the shop, and I know you can come in and sit and see who's really hustling or who's about their business versus the ones who are kind of just skating through, just doing enough to barely get by.
Yeah.
But as a barber, if you want to be on top of the game or you want to be somebody who's in the industry, there's no time for you to just lay back and relax.
Yeah.
If I'm not cutting in the shop, which 9 times out of 10, and you know that when I come through, I'm always 5 or 10 minutes late, but because of the schedule, it's just crazy. So, but if I do have downtime, I'm trying to edit a video, or I'm on a conference call, or I'm just making sure I'm doing things to stay elevating myself.
Yeah.
And that's how you get ahead. I tell my cousin just moved here.
Yeah.
And I'm telling him, bro, when you're not cutting, you need to find ways to, 1, market yourself. 2, watch somebody, shadow and learn so you can get better at your craft.
Yeah.
That's what's going to put you ahead of everybody else, because you don't have to be the best barber to make it in the industry. I know famous barbers who are on magazine covers every month.
Yeah.
There's women who are dominating the barber industry, and they're not, quote unquote, the best barber.
Most technical, right?
They're not the best barber in the game.
Yeah.
They just market themselves better than anybody.
Yeah. And how important do you think is the marketing aspect versus the skill? Like, I feel like once you get to a certain level of barbering, as long as you're like at a standard, right? Like,
right.
No one's gonna really know like how good your hair, unless you're in the industry, right?
Exactly.
The average person may not know like, oh, he cuts better than this guy, right?
You don't know. The average person wouldn't know until that's the experience that they get, or if they're in the barbershop regularly or in a upscale or urban type of setting.
Yeah.
If you're going to get that $10 haircut, every week, everything you see in that shop 9 times out of 10 is going to be bad.
Yeah.
So you're accustomed to that, and that's what you see.
Yeah.
If you're in the type of shop that like we are, and you seeing these multiple barbers putting out good work, then that's what you're going to expect.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about that though. Like how you're considered a master barber?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Master barber means many things. First thing, you're able to master. You're able to create any style that comes through the door. How much experience do you have? Do you know all the technical terms of barbering?
Yeah.
If someone comes in and doesn't know exactly what they want, can you coach them through that?
Yeah.
Can you tell them what they want when they don't even know what they want?
Yeah.
So I think the skill level and the experience is majority of what a master barber means.
Yeah.
For most part. And then from there, it just multiple things.
And tell me a little bit more about like how you practice coming up. Like there's one thing of going to barber school, right? But were you cutting hair before you went to barber school? Like practicing like on people, or?
I never took barbering serious, bro, because like I said, it was just like, imagine if your parents were dog breeders.
Yeah.
Right? And you're around puppies all the time.
Yeah.
So you never look at it like, hey, I could really make some money off of this. I could really make a great living doing this. This is my parents doing. It's second nature to you.
Yeah.
So you see the dogs, you're around it, you know everything it is about the dogs, but it's just not you.
Got it.
So I felt like barbering was not me.
Yeah.
I tried everything else under the sun. Barbering was my last resort.
Wow.
So I started, my first job was at a little burger joint called Juicy Lucy's. I knew that when I was 14 years old, this is ninth grade.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I like fly stuff. I need money. I need a job. So this is the only place in town that will hire you at 14.
Yeah.
So I went and talked to the people and they was like, okay, look, you gotta go to your guidance counselor. You gotta get a work waiver to work here.
Yeah, yeah.
I went through all the extra stuff, bro, just to get these little 10, 12 hours a week. You know, I'm thinking I'm making $100 a week, or part-time, $150.
Yeah.
I could buy shoes and clothes and I'm cool.
Yeah.
But it didn't last too long. So from there, I worked at a call center, all the fast food, McDonald's, Burger King. I did all that, Taco Bell.
So when did the light bulb go off? Like, maybe I should start taking this barber thing serious.
Okay, fast forward, right?
Yeah.
I'm 20 years old now.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, all my friends are going off in college. I tried that, it didn't work for me. So I got a couple of friends who's doing well in college, you know, getting ready to kind of get out, or at least already got their 2-year degree by now.
Yeah.
So I found a job as a electrician apprentice. So at that time, I think they was paying about $12 an hour.
Yeah.
And that was in 2006,
Yeah.
2005, and that was in Florida. So that was great
Back
for me.
then,
That was amazing. I'm bringing home $400 a week. It don't get much better than that, right?
Balling, right?
So from there, I actually got hurt. I was wiring a house, and something happened. I slipped on the ladder. It was a nail hanging out of a truss.
Oh.
Slipped in my arm. Okay, what do? Immediately, before they stitch me up,
Yeah.
they want to give me an on-site drug test. I'm bleeding, bro. Like, I feel like I'm about to faint. They want to drug test me before I can even go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, these people don't treat you good.
Yeah.
You know, I go to the clinic. They stitch me up. But now I'm on workers' comp. So now I'm out of work for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And I'm getting paid not much money. But at this time is where I've realized that this is not for me.
Yeah.
It's too hot. You know, I done tried everything else that I possibly could.
Yeah.
Doing a little sneaky stuff here and there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, man, I was hanging out with my pops at this time a lot. I got free time. My dad is funny, cool, just a funny ass dude. So I'm in the shop every single day, and I'm just seeing all these people come in and out.
Yeah.
In and out. I'm watching him. He's buying cars. He's fly. He's doing all this good stuff that I want.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, you know what, man? I'm like, man, fuck it. I'm gonna go to barber school.
Yeah.
So when I say I'm gonna go to barber school, it's like, I'm really just saying that
Yeah.
to get my parents off my ass, because they like, well, you gotta do something.
You gotta do something.
You're not going to school. You can't just stay here.
Yeah.
They push me at this point. So I'm knowing in my brain, like, okay, I'm gonna go to barber school.
Start sweeping
This
or
is
something.
gonna make them happy. I've done all the sweeping. I've done all this.
Yeah, yeah.
When I used to spend my summers in Atlanta, I used to cut my cousin's hair that on my mom's side, but I would murder their shit. They thought it was the greatest thing ever, though. So I always had the confidence,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But it's just like, I wanted to prove to my parents that I could do something that y'all didn't do and still be successful.
Yeah.
But for me, it just didn't work. So I enrolled in cosmetology school, actually. And then at that point, it was like, I don't want to be here, but, you know, I'm just doing this to keep my parents off my ass.
Yeah.
Right? And then it got interesting. Then I realized I was good, and I was like, man, okay, I'm going to just push through it and see where we go.
Yeah.
And you fast forward 12, 13 years later, man, this is where we at.
So it sounds like circumstances, right? It's almost like fate or destiny, man. Like
Fate or destiny,
you went
bro.
all these different ways and somehow ended back up to where your roots were at, man.
Yeah.
Like the barbering and the hair game was like already ingrained in you, right?
Yeah.
Just from just being
My
exposed
my grandma, she did hair. My aunt, she did hair.
to it.
My aunt, my dad, and my mom was in the same shop for 8, 9 years straight.
Yeah.
My sister went to nail school. She did nails for a little bit, but she didn't finish.
Yeah.
I mean, she just stopped and went and got like a 9 to 5 or so when she moved to Georgia.
Yeah.
So it was like a real deal family thing.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I fast forward now to now having some success. Are you glad you made that move?
Man, it's the best thing ever because I still got the freedom.
Yeah.
You know, the freedom is limited, but I still do what I want.
Yeah.
You know, to a certain point, and I make my own schedule. So, you know, being able to make money and be able to still somewhat do what you want and not be kind of controlled by, okay, you have to work this many hours a week.
Yeah.
You have to work these days in this location. If you don't, then your income's cut or you're fired. You know what I'm saying? So it works for me and my lifestyle.
And don't get twisted, you work a lot, bro. Right? Like you're talking about freedom, but you put in the
60,
hours.
70 hours a week,
I see
bro.
you all the time on
Bro,
you know,
and
Instagram and all that. You working all the time.
It's like right now, it's almost like I got 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So I'm working in the shop full-time.
Yeah.
And I'm dedicating 2 days a week solid with the 49ers. So that schedule is just as hectic as being in the shop because you got another 40, 45 guys that you got to tend to outside of the barbershop.
Yeah.
Every single week for 16 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, for the last 2 years. And then not to count preseason, OTA. So that's like basically about 6 months out of the year, you got a whole nother full-time job as well.
Yeah. And you know, I wanted to talk about now, fast forward to where you're at now, or you moved from the East Coast, came to the Bay Area a few years back, and it seems like you've had overnight success here, man.
Bro,
but I know there was that whole journey that you just talked about before that. Talk about that transition from the East Coast coming to the Bay Area and what was going through your mind.
So the East Coast or the South, what was in my brain was, okay, like I said, I hit the ceiling. So it's like, all right, when I found out I was gonna come here, I found out this is where I was gonna build my foundation going forward. After that 10 years of me being in Florida, it's like, okay, anybody who has a job, you work at Walmart, right? Say you're salary, you're a manager. They say, hey, we're gonna move you to Dallas, Texas. We're gonna pay you this much money. You're gonna live here. We're gonna relocate. We're gonna pay for your housing. We're gonna do this and this and that.
Yeah, yeah.
They got you. You're taken care of.
Yeah.
Me, it was the total opposite. I'm gonna drop all my income, right? Sell everything I got to have as much money as I can.
Yeah.
Because I don't know when my next dollar is gonna come.
Yeah.
I'm taking a major leap.
Yeah.
No set housing, no set salary. I knew where I was gonna work. My car had to leave. So it was just like, I just jumped up and came here. And when I came here, it was like, all right, I'm trying to be the first person to work. I'm trying to be the last person to leave.
Yeah.
Because you have, when you're a hard worker or when you know what it takes to be successful, you gotta sacrifice.
Yeah.
So any hanging out or any of that type of stuff when I got here was not necessary. Like, I was still on Florida time.
Yeah.
So I'm 3 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So I could come out here and actually, for these first couple of weeks, stay up late, still get up early enough to beat everybody to work.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of have that advantage. Now, culture-wise, it was totally different.
Yeah.
I'm in the area where it's mostly black.
Yeah.
Not saying I couldn't cut all types of hair, but the environment that I was in, it wasn't a whole ton of multicultural people coming in. So we had hardly no Asians.
Yeah.
And then you come to the Bay and you see the Asians are dominating. Like, you really, it's almost more Asians than anything here.
Yeah.
From the time I got out the plane in San Francisco, it was like, what the hell is going on, bro? Asian
culture
people
shock.
everywhere. Culture shock. Food. The type of housing, like in Florida, the real estate or the architecture is a lot different.
Yeah.
So just driving down the street and looking at the way the buildings are built and looking at the type of different shops or the things you see are just totally different than what I was used to.
Yeah.
So it was a major adjustment. But my main focus was income. Like, when I moved here, bro, I was in great shape. But the gym and all of that, none of that mattered to me because I was so hungry to not fail.
Yeah.
So I let all of that go out the window and just reshifted my energy and my focus to being successful. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to prove to myself, prove to my parents, prove to a whole town of people. Where I'm from, everybody knows me. I know a lot of people. It's not a big area.
It's not a big.
So you got out of 40,000 people, right? In your little area, it might be 5,000 or 6,000 people, right? You know all these people.
Yeah.
You got 2,500 saying you're gonna fail. You got 2,500 saying you're gonna succeed.
Yeah.
But my whole thing was I'm gonna prove everybody wrong.
Yeah.
I gotta make it.
And it sounds like to come out here and take that leap, like you had some blind faith, man. Maybe you're confident in your skills.
I knew
right?
3 people, bro. That was Dave,
Yeah.
my uncle, and two cousins. So like 5 people.
Yeah.
That I really knew. I got other family from my uncle here, but we never was that close.
Yeah.
So I had a solid, maybe a handful of people who I could just lean on.
Yeah.
I stayed with my uncle for a little bit. I was able to get out of his house in like 4 months. Now back home in Florida, rent is extremely cheap.
Yeah.
So for $1,000 a month, I had the best setup you can get. Versus you coming here and you can't even rent a couch for $1,000 a month.
That's true, man. And the haircuts are a lot cheaper over there too, right?
Haircuts,
we were
bro.
talking about that earlier, bro. Spit some game on that, man.
So in Florida, where I was at, after being in the game for 10 years, bro, you would get haircuts for adults. Kids was $10.
Yeah.
Adults were 15.
Man.
Face and beard. I mean, face and hair.
15
bucks. You had guys that slide you that 20 and be standing there.
Waiting for the change.
Waiting for the change. Like, oh, just give me back 5. Bruh, what do you mean? That's all you got coming anyway. So you're not doing no extra for me, but
Yeah.
man, I just got tired of that, bro. Not to say anything bad, but I knew I was worth more than that.
Yeah.
And I was just determined to figure out a way to do it.
Yeah. So do you feel like, in a way, you were kind of capped at what your potential would be out there?
Bro, Cap, for 3 years, I was getting $15. You know, if you, like I said again, I use Walmart because that's just a big franchise.
Yeah.
You work at Walmart, every year you get a raise. 5 years you get a plaque, or you probably get promoted, and you just keep going and going and going. You climb your way up.
Yeah.
But in barbering, you have to create that yourself. You have to get your own raise, or you don't get that. Nothing's gonna be given to you unless you demand it.
Yeah.
So I was getting nothing over what I asked for.
Yeah.
And I just got tired of that.
Man, that's a nice story, man. I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about, you talked about earlier how you don't have to be the best barber necessarily, but you got to know how to market yourself.
True.
So, and you do a great job at marketing yourself, man. Like, it's like you're always posting on, social media. You got your YouTube channel. You guys are doing events, a lifestyle event, all those different things. Like, maybe shed some light, like, to any barbers who are out there who are coming up. Like, how important is it to brand yourself?
It's like, to me, it is mandatory. You have to create your brand, and you have to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
I treat myself like, say, if I was a designer label or a clothing brand.
Yeah.
Even Mark Echo, when he started Echo, you would see it everywhere. He marketed himself so much that it became on, you would see it on the hot TV shows. You would see the artists wearing it. You would see everywhere you turn, you saw that rhino.
Yeah.
And then he just capitalized and built from there. So for me, I take my brand or my whole scenario the same way.
Yeah.
Every day you log on Instagram, you're gonna see something that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Every day you get on Facebook, you're gonna see that. Every day you get on Twitter. Any social media network, I'm posting something every day.
Yeah.
And as a new barber, you have to make people know you. Because at this point, when you're just starting, a lot of people aren't gonna care who you are. They're not gonna buy into you.
Yeah.
You gotta earn that.
Yeah.
You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta go market. You have to network. You gotta pay your dues, and you have to do paid advertising. You have to be at these barbering events. You have to be outside of the mall passing out your business card. You gotta make yourself available, and you have to make yourself relevant.
Yeah.
You have to make people want to experience whatever you have to offer.
Yeah.
Not just barbering, but that's anything you do.
Yeah. And that's what I admire about you most, man, because when I come in, I see you have this entrepreneur spirit to you, man. It's like you're telling me, hey, I'm flying to the East Coast. I'm flying here. I'm going to be a presenter at a show. And then you just came out with your own product too, right?
Yes.
Tell me about the product.
Okay, so the product is called, the brand is titled Favorite Essentials. That's just something that the name I came up with because I believe that I'm favored to be where I am today. You know, I'm favored by God, of course. So I just wanted to title the product company, the product line, something after to kind of just glorify God.
Yeah.
From there, I'm trying to build it slowly.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the same thing. Like if I'm starting over as a barber, all over again, marketing, advertisement, and just slamming it in everybody's face every single day.
Yeah.
I started with one product, which was like a mousse, kind of to lay down texture hair.
Yeah.
A month later, I released a moisturizer, and I have like 7 other items that I want to add to the line, but you know it takes time and money.
Yeah.
So everything's strategic, and I'm just waiting and still making sure everything is quality before I put it out.
Yeah. And what inspired you to come out with the product? Like, you're barbering, right? You're obviously, you know, doing well just in cutting hair, right?
But
what was going to your mind? Like, why make a product?
Like you talked about, saying that you seen that I had that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
So I always read. I read a lot, and there's so many people. Everybody's heard this. Oh, to be a millionaire, you have to have 6 streams of income.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if that's per se true because I'm not a millionaire yet, but
not yet.
I'm trying to add to my brand or my umbrella.
Yeah.
And just to create multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
So I was getting to that point again where it's like, okay, you're basically doing as much as you can in the shop. Now my pricing is premium, of course now, and every year I try to give myself a raise by, you know, charging what I feel like I'm worth.
Yeah.
But to add to that, I felt like I needed to create a product line, not only to make myself more relevant in the hair industry, but also just to create another stream of income.
Yeah.
So that was my main focus and my goal with that. I want to figure out how can I make money while I'm sleeping. Everybody wants to know how can you be financially successful. So you have to figure out how do you get money when you're not working.
Yeah.
How can I legally make money when I'm not working?
Yeah.
So now the goal for that is to go to sleep at night and wake up with a few sales or, you know, some items that I have to ship out. And that's just income that's coming continuously.
Yeah.
And from there, I want to just create more products and build that up. So I know I have a whole nother set, a whole nother financial stability that I could just hold on to.
Yeah. And I think that's dope, man, because most people, when they're in like a business like you, they think only just one dimensional, right? They think like, oh, I'm just going to cut hair or I'm just going to do whatever my craft is. And there's so many other branch offs that you can do that bring income in.
So many, and that's good. To have a one-track mind, that's good. But that's only going to last so long.
Yeah.
So you got to do something. You got to think for long term.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to just sell one house. I want to sell multiples.
Yeah.
I want to figure out how can I put a team together and we all sell and we all eat. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with hair. I want to cut hair. I love hair.
Yeah.
Hair is like my true passion.
Yeah.
But I wanted to capitalize on every single thing that's hair related.
Yeah.
So people buy hair products. Let me do that.
Yeah.
People buy and spend billions of dollars on ways to, there's all types of schemes like, okay, you take this vitamin, your hair is gonna grow. Okay, hey, you buy this special shampoo, it's gonna generate new hair follicles.
Yeah.
You know, some of this stuff works and some doesn't.
Yeah.
But people are spending billions of dollars on it.
Yeah.
Why can't I make something that actually works and something that I know is good and stand behind that and get some of that pie too?
Yeah. Gotta eat, man.
Gotta eat.
Let's switch gears a little bit, man. You've been cutting hair for the Niners recently.
Yeah, man. Yeah, a couple of years now.
That's awesome, man. Because when I get my hair cut, people say, "Who cut your hair?" I'm like, "Well, it's the same guy that cuts the Niners hair. That's who cuts my hair." You know what I mean? So,
yeah, the premium. What do you call that? Lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's that's just a part of what comes with my brand.
Tell me about that, man. Like, how did you? What were the steps that led up to you cutting the Niners hair?
Bruh, first it was availability.
Yeah.
Dave has been a barber here, and he's been living in San Jose for a while, long time. I came here a couple months in. I've just been busting my ass, bro. Just going hard, trying to prove to not only myself or just to everybody that I'm somebody you can count on.
Yeah.
So one day he says, "Hey, I cut Pierre Garcon's hair. He's coming through later with some guys. If you stay, you help me cut him." I was like, "Sure." And that was just a major alley.
Yeah.
He threw the alley, and when those guys came, I think it was like 7 dudes. He actually only cut maybe 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I ended up cutting majority of the rest.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was like those guys, some of them made the team, some of them didn't.
Yeah.
A couple that made the team came back, and they brought other dudes. And then they brought other dudes. And then they was like, okay, well, this guy T, he's solid. He's a great barber. Now we need him to be convenient for us.
Yeah.
So they went and pulled some strings, I guess, with the main office or whatever, and got me to be able to come to the facility, to the locker room and cut there. And once I got inside the locker room, bro, it's everybody has to take, well, they don't have to, but everybody's showering after practice. There's a whole barbershop set up inside the locker room.
Yeah.
You got to pass through the restroom, the shower. It's in the cut.
Yeah.
But everybody sees it.
Yeah.
So when I get there, it's like, for my first time, I got called for one person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I'm going to make this dude hair look so good. Somebody else is going to walk past him and be like, I need that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it happened to be Marquise Goodwin.
Oh,
He's
man.
a major player on the team.
Yeah,
So he's
he is.
walking by, he's like, damn, bro, I see you doing your thing. Like, how much you charge? And at this point, I'm like, I'm kind of timid, like, man, I don't want to say, you know, what it is, but I know he don't care anyway.
Yeah,
This guy got millions.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm charging $150. He's like, all right, cool, cut me next. I'm like, all right. So I cut him.
Yeah.
Bro, and that day, I cut him and one other person. So I went to show up to cut one person.
Yeah.
End up doing 3. By the time I got back to work that Tuesday, I had messages from multiple players. Like, hey, hey, can you cut me? What's your availability? And then I just took that and just ran with it. I started marketing those 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah.
Posting them on Instagram.
I saw that.
Posting them on my story. Posting them on Facebook. Hey, look, I cut this person. Hey, look, watch this. And it just grew from there. From there, it's like now I'm doing that every single week.
Man.
Every single week. Some days 10, 15 guys. I'm doing house calls. I'm pulling up to all these mansions from multiple.
How dope does that feel, man?
Bruh.
I seen you pulling up to like a mansion in like Atherton or something.
Bro, it's
on your
an
story.
amazing feeling because, like I said, bro, this is something that I never wanted. And to see myself apply myself and just come out the way I have,
Yeah.
you know, there's millions of barbers who would do what I do for free.
Yeah.
There's millions of barbers in this world who would say, hey, I'll go cut D4's hair for free.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll go cut Marquise Goodwin for free.
Yeah.
Hey, I will go cut Corn Alexander for free.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm fortunate to be in a position to where they want to pay me for my services.
Yeah.
These guys get free clothes. They get free shoes. They get free massages. They get free cars.
Yeah, yeah.
I was cutting Debo Samuel a couple days ago, and, you know, we was talking about, hey, he got a stack of Beats headphones in his living room. The whole world's paying $300, $350 for these headphones.
Yeah.
He had a stack of them. I'm like, damn, bro, you just, he's like, hey, you like them? Like, yeah, take what you want. Bro, I get it free.
Woo.
He gets paid to wear this stuff that that we all can't even afford to buy. You know what I'm saying?
Those are just the perks of the business,
Perks, bro. So not only now, you know, bro, you see me wearing Adidas a lot. I get tons of free Adidas stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the stuff with these guys are blessing me with and just making my umbrella larger and larger and larger. And it's just all a part of working hard and you know, like I said, making yourself available.
Yeah.
If you have the availability, that's major.
Yeah.
I've been as early as 5 o'clock in the morning to the locker room.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a guy who's gonna pay me $500, $600 for a haircut.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be there. And then after that, I'm gonna get another 1 or 2 before the team travels.
Yeah.
But if I don't make myself available, I don't get these type of opportunities.
Yeah.
So you saying you going from making $15 a haircut to $500-$600 a haircut.
Man.
I did the national championship last year.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to hired 10 barbers to go with me.
Wow.
Paid every one of them. 5 barbers went to Clemson Hotel. 5 went to Alabama.
Wow.
And the NCAA wrote me a check to pay these guys and pay myself.
Yeah.
And I just remember when I was getting these $8, I was getting these $10. So now you getting $1,000 checks, few thousands of dollars of checks. I'm not gonna say how much, but you know, and just like, man, like it's all a surprise to me too. Still,
what an awesome feeling, man. Because to hear from you coming up, growing up in your parents' shop, man, you're like, I ain't trying to be a barber, right?
Didn't want nothing to do with it.
To now having the amount of success you're having, man, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, man.
Tip of the iceberg,
you're
bro.
Still young.
Still young, still growing. I know that eventually I'm gonna outgrow where I am.
Yeah.
We have incidents now where it be athletes coming to shop and you know you have the other clients freaking out and going crazy. And, you know, it's just to the point now where it's like, okay, how long am I gonna be able to be where I'm at?
Yeah.
So I don't know that, but and being available. Also, you talking about juggling another 40, 50 some guys.
Yeah.
So what I got my cousin here now.
Yeah.
And my goal with him is to get him up to speed so he can help me, you know, take on some of the responsibilities that I have.
Yeah.
And put him on the right track, and then he can eat. And then we can just keep growing the umbrella from there.
Yeah. I love that, man, because you have this go big or go home attitude, man.
Oh, that's the only way, bro.
Right? So I think we should wrap it up, man. I mean, we could talk for days about this whole barber game, but I just want to commend you, man. Just seeing your hustle, and it inspires me, man. Because me being an entrepreneur and coming in and seeing you doing all these things, it lights a fire under me. Like, man, I got to step my game up or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I appreciate you,
and just
bro.
to see, you know, what you're doing, I think you can be a huge inspiration to other barbers coming up. Because a lot of people, if you're outside of the barber world, you don't know what's possible in here,
Right,
man.
it's so much in the barbering industry, bro. There's so many avenues.
Yeah.
I have sponsors, like major sponsors, and this clipper company. It's like the best. I grew up using the clippers. I never knew that it was possible to have them, you know, pay you or send you their items to market for them or to use their clippers. I was already using them anyway.
Yeah.
But I became known enough, or I became popular enough, or relevant enough for them to say, "Hey, we want to endorse you."
Yeah.
You know, watch companies. Jordan Watches is another. I give, you know, Jordan Watches sends me their products every so often. You know, for me to wear, for other people to see, to market. You know, hair products. There were other, before I started my own product company, I actually had to wait till I ran out of contract expired with a couple of different product lines before I actually started my own. So, you know, man, it's multiple ways in the hair industry as a barber to generate revenue, income, and different type of avenues. Yeah. Yeah. So to be sponsored by major brands is like, it's something that a lot of people don't know is possible. Yeah. But you see at these trade shows, and when you're at these trade shows and I'm hosting workshops or I'm teaching different hair techniques to different people for different companies, that's still amazing to me. Yeah. Because I was the student who used to hit the hair shows and see these guys on stage and see these guys, you know, marketing a product and be like, how can I do that? I didn't even know where to start. Yeah. But having mentors and having people that you can reach to who know more than you about certain things really helps too. Yeah. I met Dave at a hair show. And that's what Dave was teaching the workshop. He was teaching the class. And he gave me a lot of game about the hair industry. Yeah. He's been a big blessing to you, man. Major blessing to me. And I've learned so much from him. Dave's like he's a vet. He's a barber vet. Dave, and he's the owner of Barbers Inc. For those of you guys that don't know. Dave owns the shop that I work at. Yeah. Dave gave me the blessing and told me, come here, I'm gonna make sure you eat.
That's how I met you.
Yep.
I was supposed to get cut by Dave, and he was busy, and he didn't want me to go. I came in, he's like, don't worry, this guy will cut your hair. And he cuts really good. He's a master barber.
Yeah. See,
I
availability.
sat down.
We just talked about
We've
that
been rocking for
availability.
like 2 years now, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
We're going strong, man. and it builds from there. So he's been a major mentor to me.
Yeah.
Helped me, and pushed me to say, I told him how much I was getting.
Yeah.
Bro, you getting $15. Bro, come to the Bay. We get 40. This was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So in 2 years, I've created a $20 raise.
Yeah.
I went from 40 to 60 in 2 years.
Yeah, man.
So
I guess to wrap it up, I got one last question for you. So if you can go back to when you were like a kid or a teenager, if you had to tell yourself one thing,
I would tell
what
myself,
would you tell yourself, bro?
I would tell myself if I could go back, don't try to run from fate. You're already destined to be something. Just do it, start now.
Yeah.
If I'd have had those extra 4 years, if I'd have went to, because they have a program back home where you can go to tech school and the school board pays for it.
Yeah.
So I could have went to barber school for free when I was 17, 16, but I didn't do it. I would have did that and already been way ahead of the game. Who knows how much further I would be along now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'd have had that extra 4 years ahead of me,
Yeah.
instead of just wasting my time and just hanging out. All my friends were just getting by.
Yeah.
So I've noticed my circle go from a group of 4 or 5 guys that just skating through life, just barely getting by, to now in a circle of everyone's successful.
Yeah.
Everybody who I'm around is like successful and even more successful than me. So that gives me that extra drive and push.
Yeah.
So I would have surrounded myself with more success.
Yeah.
But I was hanging around guys who weren't doing any better than me to make myself feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
you couldn't really level up.
Couldn't level up.
Yeah.
I was already leveled up. Okay. And basically then my parents were still taking care of me. I used to spend nights and spend time with all these friends who had nothing going on, bro.
Yeah.
They was just skating by like me. And it made me feel comfortable, like that was okay.
Yeah, man. Well, I think we nailed it, man. I appreciate you coming out. Where can people find you at?
Find me on Instagram first at TEE_DA Barber. Find me on YouTube at T the Barber. Find me on everything at T the Barber.
All right. As you continue to blow up, man,
I
still make some
appreciate
time
you
for my
having me,
haircuts,
man.
all right?
Let's do it, baby.
What's up?